All right, and good afternoon. Happy Juneteenth, and welcome to the nomination reaction show for the announcement of the fifth annual Black Reel Awards for television. They occurred a couple of days ago, and we have been swamped, I think is the operative phrase, with acclaim and praise for the choices that were made by our voting academy. I'm joined today. Oh, by the way, I'm Tim Gordon. I didn't even introduce myself. Tim Gordon, CEO and founder of the Black Reel Awards, and I am joined by our nominating chairperson, Cordell Martin. Cordell, welcome.
Afternoon.
Sir, so you heard me talk a little bit about the reaction. Talk to me about what you thought of the unveiling of the nominations of the fifth annual Black Reel Awards for television.
Yeah, I thought overall that the list of nominees was a strong crop of nominees, considering, a lot of shows were shut down due to the pandemic. So going into this award season, we didn't know if we were going to get a lot of contenders or, the possibility of pushing back the awards. But overall, in the end, we really were able to capture a lot of great nominees. We
So,
hosted a few surprises and snubs too.
oh no, we're gonna get to those, man. So clearly, we have a situation with the Black Reel Awards for television, as we said at the top. It's its fifth year. This year there are 27 categories, and we break the awards down into three distinct areas. There is the drama category, there is the comedy category, and then there's TV series. Am I saying this right? TV series and is it limited? Cordell, give him what it is. Wow.
So we have 27 categories with emphasis on drama, comedy, TV movie, or limited series, as well as a music category and TV doc or special.
Thank you. Man, I'm gonna have to let you do that because it's much smoother than my presentation. But so what it basically breaks down to is in all three of those different areas, there are nine categories in each area. Am I correct?
Nine in drama category, 9 in drama and comedy, and then 7 in the TV movie limited series.
And then where are the other two? Is it music?
Music and TV documentary.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. In the future, you are in charge of the breakdown of all of these categories because I'm struggling. But needless to say, one of the things that I noticed this morning, and we're going to get through it because these are our leading contenders right now that are on the screen. Lovecraft Country paced all of the awards, all of the series or films this year with 10 nominations. An amazing story. Now, again, transparency, neither of us are voters, right? So I am learning about it as you guys are learning about it. The Voting Academy does an amazing job every year. Lovecraft Country, Cordell, you and I had talked that we both thought that once this thing premiered last fall, that it would be a perennial favorite, and we were absolutely correct. that all the acclaim that Lovecraft Country got, it was nominated, like the entire principal cast is nominated for this film. Courtney B. Vance. Am I pronouncing her name correctly? Is it Wunmi Musaku?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Journey Smollett Bell, Jonathan Majors, and Michael K. Williams were all nominated. Oh, as well as
Anjanae Ellis.
Who?
Anjanae Ellis.
Anjanae Ellis, thank you. That's the name I was forgetting, Anjanae Ellis. So thank you. Anjanae Ellis was great. And as also a disclosure, I told you my favorite episode was episode 7. I am Hippolyta. So I was glad to see Anjanae Ellis. But of course, that I said on the top, that one paced us with 10 nominations. Coming in with 9 nominations is a show that has been incredibly consistent throughout Black Reel Award history. I was doing some research this morning, and I saw that for our first annual Black Reel Awards for television back in 2017, Blackish had 10 nominations in 2017 5 years or 4 years later, it still has 9. It is still remains a show that is immensely popular. Cordell, talk a little bit about Blackish, and as it's nearing its final season and the transition that we're not only going to lose that show, but several other ones moving forward.
Yeah, so as we continue growing year after year, you'll start seeing a changing of the guard, so to speak, with a lot of these long-standing shows that have been staples with our award show. So like Blackish, Insecure, and This Is Us, all three of those shows, which are actually the top three most nominated programs of all time for the Black Reel Awards for TV history, will be ending their series next year. So what's helped out Blackish this year actually is that in the past 4 years, they had stiff competition with Insecure and Atlanta, who both did not have seasons eligible this year. So with both of those shows coming into play next year, we'll see if they'll still be able to hold up in terms of being one of the top nominees next year.
Okay, got you. Now we come down to these three series that each garnered 7 nominations. I love me some Snowfall, so I was very happy for that. Small Acts, we've been talking about that since last November about how much of an achievement director Steve McQueen did, pulling off 5 movies simultaneously and dropping them. And I understand that this is the second cycle that we've gone through with Small Acts, because I think we wanted it as a film nominee, but Amazon said it was a television series. So I said, okay, we'll wait. And I May Destroy You, I think, is the surprise for me, because it's a show that's not been on my radar, like one that I've watched, but I've read the reviews and understand, and our voters understood that it was a critical darling. Do any of these 3 films jump out to you? I mean, or these 3 series jump out to you, Cordell, and their chances for, to take home top prizes in a couple of months?
I'm not surprised with the nominations for I May Destroy You and Small Acts, just because, to your point, both of those limited series have been critical acclaimed. They have received a lot of industry buzz and nominations leading to being nominated at our award show. So not surprised by those 2 at all. Snowfall, pleasantly surprised. It's been one of those shows that's kind of been a slow burner, so to speak. Prior to the 7 nominations, I think it's only received 1 nomination prior. So it was one of those shows that I don't know if it was just because it was released so early in our eligibility period, because normally the seasons would premiere in the summertime. So then by then, there's a gang of other shows and stuff that kind of overshadowed Snowfall. But with the premiering right towards the tail end of our eligibility period, I think really helped Snowfall get the recognition that it deserves.
Man, really, really good show, man. Now, let's get down to the 3 that have 6 nominations. And of course, SNL, we've seen the rise of that show in our awards over the past several years. So it's consistent. And it's always a show that, for the most part, a lot of guests, their hosts are always nominated. So this year's no different. Sylvie's Love, we talked about that during actually Black Reel Awards several months ago, how much we loved that film. But A Black Lady Sketch Show, that was the one that took me by surprise, because now this is season 2 that we were honoring, right? And this was a late ad that just came out probably about a month and a half ago. I think Robin Thede, Gabrielle Dennis, Ashley Nicole, I want to say, please, I don't want to mess her name up, Ashley Nicole Black, and I can't remember the other 2 young ladies. Ironically, the other 2 who they added this season, neither of them got nominations, but the core 3, and including Robin Thede several times. Black Lady Sketch Show, very, very funny, man. So do you have any feelings about, among these 3, of their nomination chances, or them being nominated?
I think A Black Lady Sketch Show has a great shot, possibly at taking home the top prize in comedy. Robin Thede, I think she has a great shot, just because that comedy actress category is wide open. Because Issa Rae has been the reigning champ for the last 4 years, and since her show's not eligible, we'll finally get a new winner in that category.
Yeah, she's executive producing, but hey.
Exactly. And SNL, to your point, SNL's always been a staple in our guest categories. Of course, with this year, with the influx of them asking a lot of Black performers to host. So you have Regina King, Maya Rudolph, um, Regine Page, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, a host of others, really helped their nomination count this year. And then Sylvie's Love, as we mentioned before, is definitely one of our favorites here as the Black Reel Awards team. So it was great just to see that movie get some love from our TV awards.
Oh man. All right. So let's move on. Let's check it out. Let's break this thing down and see what we got this year.
Yeah, so then as we talk more about the leading nominees, this is just kind of some stats just to share with you guys. So in terms of
Wow.
programs, as I mentioned earlier, with Blackish, Insecure, and This Is Us, they've been leading the pack for the past 5 years. And be interesting to see, once these shows end, which new shows will kind of, take the reign and possibly surpass them in terms of total nomination count.
So I'm absolutely right. So even without knowing that you were going to have this most nominated program stat, I saw that it had 10 4 years ago, back in 2017. Here we are now in 2021 with 9 more. And the thing that's really interesting, if you look at Kenya Barris, because I'm sure if there's another stat somewhere, if you looked at Grownish, which I think garnered nominations this year, I'm not sure what Mixish ever did. But if you can look at Kenya Barris, we're easily talking over 50 nominations for Kenya Barris alone on the television side, which probably makes him, as either a showrunner and creator, the guy who's produced the most nominated programs that we've had in our history.
Yeah.
Wow. Kenya Barris, man. Congratulations to you. 48 nominations in 4 years for Blackish.
Actually,
that's huge.
We're counting this year's nomination.
Counting this year. So 5 years, they almost are averaging 10 nominations a year.
Yeah.
Whew. Insecure. Now, Insecure was here with us last year, but they weren't eligible this year.
Exactly.
And is Insecure about to start their final season as well?
Yeah. So I think the final season is supposed to premiere sometime late summer, early fall. I think HBO hasn't announced it officially yet, but I'm assuming that's when it'll premiere.
Yeah, I need to start calling these programs the Big Four, because there's a huge drop off, as you can see, from Queen Sugar to SNL. But yeah, this is pretty impressive, and it's amazing to me that Blackish has had that sort of impact. And it's also ironic, as we do this show on Juneteenth, that Blackish did a show, what was it, 2 years ago, where they opened the season up with a Juneteenth episode. So it's very apropos that those guys, we're saluting that show. And so we definitely need to reach out to ABC to let them know that you guys you're killing it. You're really killing it, man. So congratulations to Blackish, which didn't have the most nominations this year, but clearly are head and shoulders above everybody else. Now, we're talking most nominated, period. I see you've got the dramas in here. So yes, so Blackish is, wow. You're right. When we lose Blackish, let's say that in their final year that they get close to what they're averaging, 9 to almost 10 nominations, they could be close to about 60 nominations before it's all said and done.
Yeah, possibly. And then you see also shows like Atlanta that's been off the air for about 2 or 3 years now. They got 2 seasons that they're filming now, so you can definitely see them increase their nomination counts. Pose, they wrapped up their final season, so they're tapped out at 13 nominations. Dear White People will be back in the mix for one more season.
Oh, are they really?
Yep. So they got one more season coming out. Also interesting to see that the only limited series we have is When They See Us. So that just speaks, to the testament of that program, that they're in the top 10 most nominated programs, and it was just only a one standalone season for that.
Now, the other thing before we move on is, remember, I tell you all the time that my favorite game as a kid was concentration, where you would put numbers together. Yeah. So if you do 4 and 6, you figure out that the connection in 4 and 6 is Ava DuVernay.
Yep.
Ava DuVernay as a creator between those two shows is 51. So right now, Kenya Barris, we don't have any Grownish on the sheet. And Grownish, we don't know what the vote total is, but I'm pretty confident in saying that I think that Kenya Barris right now may be edging Ava DuVernay by like a nose.
Yeah, and then you also had Black AF that came out last year. And
yeah. So Kenya Barris, man, has dominated in nominations over the last 4 years. Now look at this. Wow.
This is the most nominated networks, and this is accounting for nominations current. So in the left column, you got the Bratz era. So that's capturing the first 5 years of the Black Real Awards for television. And those are the top 10 networks. Interesting thing to note here is you see Disney Plus at the bottom with 18 nominations. And that's just the total nomination count they had for this year alone. So Disney Plus is starting off really strong, and we can see them definitely moving up the ranks in upcoming years. And then to your right is the overall. So we did honor TV movies in our first 18, 19 years of the Black Awards for film. And so this is capturing all of those nominations from 2000 to present time. And as you can see, HBO has been the leading network in terms of nominations overall.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I see Netflix doing its thing, and again, these are great conversation starters because in the Bratz era, in Black Real Awards for television for you at home, in the Bratz era, Netflix and HBO. I'm surprised at HBO's 107. That I didn't think that HBO had been that solid or had been running neck and neck with Netflix, because Netflix is going to, in order to try to at one point catch HBO, which I thought would almost be a given, but I didn't think HBO would come back that strong. But when you've got the Black Lady Sketch Show, when you've got some of the other programming that HBO is producing, it is
Insecure.
Oh, that damn Michael Che.
Yep. HBO Max, their sister, channel. So
yeah. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. So this is so I almost feel like I'm representing the audience, like going, oh, I was here for it, but I'm busy doing the work. I'm not really looking back on what has been done. But this is absolutely fantastic that even in the Bratz era, that we've had two shows that have garnered over 100 nominations. ABC is there. They have ABC got off to a slow start in the overall count, but they're one of three networks now that are over 100 nominations. So that's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So then looking at just individuals. So overall, and this is counting everything from directing, producing, writing, all of that. Angela Bassett, surprisingly, has 11 nominations as a performer and director.
Wow.
Got Michaela Coyle, Ava DuVernay, and Regina King with 10 nominations. Then you have a gang of individuals, including Spike Lee, Sterling K. Brown, Reggie Rock Bythewood, John Ridley, Issa Rae, and Donald Glover with 8 nominations. Then on the performer side, you see that Angela Bassett and Sterling K. Brown has 8 nominations. And we'll get more about Sterling K. Brown because he should have 9, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Oh, yeah.
Regina King, Felicia Rashad, Jennifer Lewis with 7. And then with 6 nominations, Tracy Ellis Ross, Lynn Whitfield, Jeffrey Wright, Cicely Tyson, Idris Elba, Lawrence Fishburne, and Alfre Woodard.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Sterling K. Brown a little bit, but this is interesting. Let's dissect this for a second. So Angela Bassett, in the early, what we now refer to as the 2000s, she was doing a lot of work on television. I remember specifically Ruby's Bucket of Blood. She played. I mean, there were like all these different movies that she did that were early in the process, that she was picking up all these nominations early. And as a performer, it's pretty interesting that Angela Bassett, now you look at how folks evolve in the game. Angela Bassett now, I've seen her in Black Panther a couple of years ago. I know she's in 911.
Yep.
She actually did a guest spot in season 1 of Black Lady Sketch Show. Am I correct? That was season 1.
Yep, and she received a nomination from us for that category.
Yeah, so I mean, she's good, but you know, you look at the overall, and is her last name pronounced Coel? Michaela Coel? So Michaela, Ava, and Regina King are gonna keep on coming. So no disrespect to Angela Bassett, but I don't think you're gonna sit in that overall top spot too much longer. And then on the performer side, with Regina King, I can clearly see her at some point becoming the dominant performer on the most nominated side, because, and I'm assuming there's a page coming up, because I don't want to get too far ahead, but this is actually a very cool look. Are there any other things that we want to talk about before we move to the next page of this? Because this is pretty interesting too.
No, I mean, that covers it. The next thing we'll be talking about is snubs and surprises. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Oh yeah, this is a good one. So let's stop right there. This Is Us, a show that has won outstanding drama. Am I correct in saying twice?
Yep.
Okay. 2-time winner for for outstanding drama, did not get nominated this year. What does that speak to? Does that speak to the evolving nature that there are all these new shows that are coming up? The people, I mean, they have one more season left. Are people tiring of the Randall Beth drama, which I thought was really good? Was it the COVID storylines? I don't know what to say. I thought the show was brilliant. We love it. Kaya Yagan, who announced our nominations, is one of the executive producers, writers, and directors on the show. She was nominated, but the show was not. Cordell, please tell me, because that was the shock of the hour. I said, wait a minute, no, This Is Us up for best drama?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, This Is Us has been one of those staple shows and nominees since we've started the Black Reel Awards for television. I too was surprised that it didn't get in for best drama series. But you know, like we said, it's just been a super competitive year, especially in the drama field. And you know, oftentimes I think voters kind of go for the new shiny things. And so I think This Is Us was just one of those shows that unfortunately just got lost in the shuffle. Also with Sterling K. Brown, I mean, I thought he would have been someone that would have been nominated for every single season, just because he's that good. In my opinion, he's the best actor on the show. So I was definitely surprised to see him snubbed in the drama actor category, and also in the guest performer categories. This Is Us tend to dominate in those fields. So the only nominee this year was Felicia Rashad, but there was a lot of great guest starring turns that I felt should have been nominated.
So wait a minute, no drama nomination. Sterling K. Brown, who has won how many times? 3?
3, yes.
Wow, boy, y'all sending a message this year, boy. They're like, dang, no, wow. Yeah, okay, so that to me is the biggest snub, but I'm sure this is not the only one. What's next?
All right, so in terms of surprises, we talked about this a little earlier, but Snowfall, it received 7 nominations, including 4 acting nominations, writing, directing, and of course, it's nominated for Outstanding Drama Series. This is one of my favorite shows. I was really happy to see that it received a lot of love from our voters. So yeah, I put it down as a surprise because we just didn't know how it was going to resonate with the voters this year.
Well, it reminds me, it's a type of show that once you start watching it, the writing on it is so good. You had people like Walter Mosley writing episodes. I know John Singleton, this was his baby. I really like this show, and Damson Idris, Eamon Joseph, Gail Bean, who are all on it. I think all these actors are super, super special. And I'm with you on this one. I mean, I love this show, and I was glad to see it getting the love. I'm not sure exactly how many more seasons that we have of Snowfall, because I remember, when we were doing the nomination announcements and we were recording and talking to Eamon Joseph, and I was teasing him. I was like, "Hey man, you gonna survive?" Because it's a brutal, bloody show, man. And from time to time, it's almost, and I've seen, and I'm not sure, Cordell, if you've seen it on Twitter, that one of our Black Real Award Voting Academy members, Cheo Haderi Coker, has compared Snowfall to The Wire, that he thinks is that good. And I'm like, I can't argue with you. I think it's a solid, well-written drama showing what drugs and the impact of drugs in the community, especially this period piece back in the 80s. So kudos to Snowfall. I agree with you. That is a wonderful surprise. What's next? Wow. I'll let you lead off, because this is another one that's a personal one for me, but you go ahead.
Yeah, so Queen Sugar, just like This Is Us, has been one of our staple nominees. I thought this past season was one of their better seasons. I think the previous season was kind of a mixed bag, but this year I was expecting, some nominations in more of the acting fields. Kofi and Regina Wesley, they both have been, consistent nominees in both the drama actor and actress field. And Regina has actually won 3 times in that category.
Yeah.
So she was snubbed, but Dawn Lynn Gardner, who I thought did an amazing job this season, got in. It also got in Best Drama Series, which is funny because it was snubbed the last 2 years. So hopefully that's a promising sign for This Is Us, that they can come back next year after being snubbed. But then also I thought the supporting cast was really great. I thought the directing and writing submission that was submitted for consideration, I thought was really strong, as it was directed and written by Ava DuVernay, and I think directed by Anthony Sparks, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely was shocked that Queen Sugar didn't get a lot of love this year.
Now, what is the young lady's name who just married Kofi on the show? Bianca
Austin.
Yes, man. Did she get nominated?
No, she didn't get in.
Wow.
Get in. Omar Dorsey, the former winner, did not get in. Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, again, like I said, man, this to me is one of the things that we talk about, that what I love so much about this process is that year in and year out, there are things that, like, I would have voted for. Like, I would have liked to have seen certain performances be included, but I'm glad that we have gotten to a point where we have a really qualified group of people who make these choices. And then you and I can come back and go, "Ooh, man, I didn't like that one, but that's a good one." I like what you did with Snowfall, but Snowfall's gain might have been This Is Us and Queen Sugar's to their detriment. Yep. In a case like that. And you're right. I thought this is one of their better seasons. And it's very interesting to me how Dawn Lynn Gardner, so I'm not sure exactly what that says about years past, where you would have all 3 of these guys routinely be nominated. Kofi, Regina, and Dawn would routinely get nominated. This year, Dawn made the cut. The other 2 didn't. So again, it's pretty interesting. So what's our next surprise if we're going snub on this one?
Yeah, so the new surprise is that the rise of other streaming services. In the past 4 years, it's been about Netflix, and you throw in Hulu there and Amazon. But this year, Disney Plus received 18 nominations. You also saw some shows from HBO Max and Peacock also get some love too. So watch out, Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, because you got some competition.
So let's be real about something here. This is, and I'm not sure if this is a 1-year anomaly or if this is something that is going to start to develop into a pattern. Mm-hmm. But as 2 things happen, of course, the pandemic, everybody knows that people were home and they were ingesting more programming than they ordinarily would see, because there wasn't a lot of other options to do things out. So everybody stayed in and watched all these shows. And then in turn, Disney Plus, of course, they're launching WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and now Loki. And as you said, Peacock was a surprise because we didn't have a talk show category, but if we did, Amber Ruffin would have probably made it with Peacock and HBO Max. But also, let's be very transparent and understand that as the award has grown in stature, studios now are giving us more screeners, and people got an opportunity to see more screeners of these different networks, which is why shows like Girls Five Ever, which in a routine year, who would have saw Girls Five Ever? But people had an opportunity to see it, and they got nominations this year. The same thing with HBO Max. And I'm saying it jokingly because Cordell and I sat through a recording session a week ago and had to listen to somebody saying that damn Michael Che over and over. but I thought that show was funny, and it got nominations. So again, let's revisit this surprise in 12 months to find out if this starts to begin a trend or if this was a 1 year kind of aberration because of the social cultural situation that we endured with COVID-19 last year.
I mean, I think to your point, this is something we'll definitely, monitor and see how it evolves over the next couple of years. But I mean, I think in the case of Disney Plus, it already had a built-in audience. And then, I mean, with the Marvel brand, you're already going to have people that are going to watch it regardless if we send screeners or not. So Disney Plus, I could definitely see being, one of the top contenders as long as they have the content there for our voters.
Right.
They'll definitely be a contender. HBO Max, to your point, I think it'll be more about the screeners as they start to build their audience. And then Peacock, I believe, is free for viewers. So
okay. Now, also before you move forward, the one thing you got to remember about Disney Plus, man, and this is going to be the huge elephant in the room for them, is when they drop that Wakanda series.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be a wrap. I'm telling you now. So they're going to be and that will and I guess these series were all in the drama category, right?
Yes. So
yeah, somebody is going to take a super L in whatever year Wakanda drops for the Black Real Awards for television, because I got a feeling. Matter of fact, we know that what's her name, Okoye, Danai Gurira, is probably going to be the principal headliner. So you can look for her and whoever else is in that show. That one's going to do very well. Think Lovecraft Country or The Watchmen again. That sort of impact on our awards. So that show is going to be huge whenever it drops. They haven't announced a date because I'm assuming it's sometime either next year or the year after. But it's coming.
Oh yeah, so definitely look out for that. And also shout out to The Mandalorian, which also received, I think, 4 or 5 nominations.
Oh yeah, Giancarlo Esposito. Who else got nominated from Mandalorian?
Rosario Dawson for guest actress. I think there's for guest actor, and then it received directing and writing nominations as well.
So yeah. So you're right. I mean, the Disney Plus, I believe it has the potential to be a perennial double-digit nominee studio for the Black Real Awards moving forward. So that is something to keep an eye on. But as far as Peacock and HBO Max, I'm gonna hold out, but I'm pretty certain that we'll see a lot more Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. Next, a snub is.
Please tell me about this one.
Yeah, so it's the final season, and Pose actually won drama series for its actually last year. Second season. So one would assume that it'll be back in the drama series race, but it was snubbed. And then a lot of the actresses on the show, like MJ Rodriguez, Dominique Jackson, and a host of others, put in a lot of buzzworthy performances that, people on Twitter have been buzzing about. So, the thought was maybe they would have gotten some love for their performances, but no luck. And then there was a lot of guest actors and actresses that appeared on the show this year. I believe Jackie Harry, um, oh gosh, the original Aunt Viv. What's her name?
Oh, yes, I'm looking at her, Janet Hubert.
Yes, yes, yes. And then also the actress that played in A Man and
Oh,
Brothers.
okay.
Yes. Name is
Wow.
escaping me, but yes, I mean, and then also in the
Are you
past,
talking? You're not talking about Roz Ryan, are you?
no, no, no. Oh,
Oh, the one who played the daughter of Sherman Hemsley.
yep, yep.
Oh yeah, you can miss me with that name. That one I don't know. I know who she is, but I don't have her name.
But with it being the final season, I just thought that it would have received a nice send off, just like shows like How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal. I know Empire received a few for its final season, so I thought it would have received a lot more love than what it did.
So let me just take a guess. Pose won Best Drama last year. We're talking about it being snubbed. We're talking about This Is Us being snubbed. What got nominated this year? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Lovecraft Country.
No. But I'm just saying, Lovecraft Country was one we expected.
Yep.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a surprise, which took a nomination away in that category from either Pose or This Is Us. And what was the other surprise nomination this year?
Snowfall.
Which one?
Snowfall.
There you go. That's probably and the inclusion of those two probably knocked those two out. And that's what I'm talking about. This Disney Plus thing, this is showing you in real time what we're talking about the impact of these Disney Plus or these other streaming services shows, because in the comedy category, we haven't had any notable snubs yet. But that damn Michael Che get nominated for best comedy.
Yep, best comedy, writing, and then best actor.
So clearly, and I'm hoping at some point there might be some comedy snub, because you have to start looking when something emerges, it knocks something else established out of the way.
I mean, I think in the case of comedy, as I mentioned, you didn't have those staple shows like Atlanta and Insecure, so it opened the field for a lot of new shows to kind of break through. So you're not going to see as many snubs in the comedy side just because, those staple shows weren't eligible, as well as shows like Dear White People that has been nominated consistently as well.
Well, these two snubs are huge because both of those shows are former winners in the drama category. That's huge. Now, this surprise right here, I got to give Cordell a lot of credit for this one, because this was a show that I did not watch when it made its initial run. And Run the World, I just thought it was a really, really fun show. It's kind of I would say a mix of what Sex and the City meets, you said Sex and the City meets Insecure?
Insecure, and you also add Living Single to the mix.
Go ahead, man. Talk about Run the World, man.
Yeah, so I mean, as we mentioned, with Insecure kind of, not leaving an opening for that,
Right.
Strong black woman, show, that Run the World kind of took its spot. I think with the showrunner who produced Living Single, also is executive producer for Dear White People, and then just the fantastic ensemble. A lot of the actresses featured there are, up and coming rising stars, which is great to see. Because oftentimes, with these type of shows, you just see the same, actors and actresses, but it was great to see some new blood onto the scene. And I think it's just a great show. I think it's very timely and relevant, and funny as well. So it was a pleasant surprise to see it get nominated for the top category for Outstanding Comedy Series, as well as some nominations for Brescia Webb for lead actress and Erica Alexander, who coincidentally enough was in Living Single.
Living Single.
Yeah.
Now, Webb, I was happy for her because I've seen her in a lot of stuff. I saw her in Marlon, that series. It was something. Oh, she was also in The Upshaws as well on Netflix.
Okay.
So yeah, so I've seen her, and I see that she's very, very funny, and I'm glad that she got to showcase this role, and and Run the World really fits her and her talents, and it really elevates the show and kind of all these distinct character differences that they have. The other standout in Run the World is God, what is her name? She co-starred in the Carmichael show. Um, I've
Oh,
seen
Amber Stevenson.
Amber and is Amber something Stevens, Amber West Stevens, or is it Amber Stevens West? Amber Stevens West.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's really good too. And she, like these, I love seeing these actresses who have paid their dues, and we see them in some shows and some of them don't work. And then finally they find the right show or the right product, and boom, project, I should say, and boom. So yeah, that is absolutely. So you're hitting the nail on the head with these snubs and surprises. So now it's time for another snub.
Yeah, so this is our last of the list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, this one, we heard about this one in real time.
Yes.
One of our nominees who, Morocco Omari, who starred in P-Valley, was not happy to find out that all of these categories, his show got snubbed in. And he has a legitimate point. P-Valley is a really good show, a show I enjoy watching. It got what? How many nominations total?
Just one. Wow. Yeah, one nomination.
Wow. And you said this was the final season?
Oh no, this is their first season for P-Valley.
First season. Yeah, all right, so P-Valley might be a slow burner, man. It might do the Snowfall thing where it didn't start off strong, but when people get an opportunity to discover and find the show, it may do what Snowfall has done, and it may pick up, and we look up one year and go, oh, there's P-Valley. That's what happened to P-Valley.
Yeah, and I think also if it was a less competitive year, I think it would have received more nominations. But as we've mentioned, you see shows like Queen Sugar and This Is Us falling, down in their total nomination count just due to the competition. So to your point, I think P-Valley is starting to gain buzz. And I think in the upcoming season, I think it will receive more nominations. We shall see. But yeah, that definitely was one of the big snubs when looking at the nomination list this year.
Wow, man. Yeah, bro. P-Valley, good show, man. Whew. Go ahead. But it just talks about the nature, Cordell, that we talk about the competitiveness on the television side. And, you're looking at dramas and comedies. So we really haven't had any, because you're not going to really get any snubs in TV, movie, or limited series because those kind of fluctuate year in and year out. But the competition between the comedy categories and the drama categories, it's ferocious. It really is.
Yeah. So was there any other snubs or surprises that you can think of?
I was trying to think surprise is interesting because surprises are like, is there a show I really like that didn't get anything? Now, one of the other surprises, and it's actually not a surprise, throughout the history of the Power franchise, I remember Power getting a nomination one year for Best Drama when it didn't get anything else. And this year, I think Book 2 got one nomination for Lorenz Tate, which is interesting in itself because Power during its height was one of those shows that was really buzzed about, but it just never translated. I mean, would you agree? It never translated with the Black Reel Awards in that way in the television side.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, that's one of those surprising omissions throughout the years just because of how popular it was. But once again, as we keep mentioning, it just goes to the testament of the quality that's out there. And when you have shows like Queen Sugar and This Is Us and Pose and other shows like that, you can't just get by just based on popularity and name recognition. Our voters really take this seriously in terms of making sure that the best of the best for that year is nominated and recognized.
Now, what about Netflix's dual shows, Bridgerton and Lupin? Lupin, I think, got nominated
just for drama series. So
drama series.
Probably one of the big surprise because that was the only nomination it received.
And it got nominated for Best Drama.
Yep.
So hence Snowfall in, Lupin in, and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in. Out, This Is Us, Pose. So up there, and there you go. That explains to you why we have these snubs, which are very interesting to me. I can't. You can't. Let's just go back to because I keep stammering. I would not have put Lupin in over one of those other two shows. And then Bridgerton was a show that I expected a lot more love. How many nominations did Bridgerton end up with?
I believe just only 2.
Yeah, I mean, so and both the two most popular Black characters were nominated.
Yep, correct.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. No, I think we're good on Snubs and Surprises because, like I said, I think we've covered it for the most part. This Is Us is probably the one that to me is the most shocking of them all. And then from the surprise standpoint, both Snowfall and Run the World emerged. Now, we had no All Rise this year, which did extremely well last year. We have no For Life this year. Subsequently, both of those shows have been canceled. Are there any other shows that were canceled? Like, I know Euphoria was a show last year when, Malcolm and Marie, what is her name? Zendaya, thank you. Yep. When Zendaya was nominated and won last year, the show was canceled. I know we've had several occasions.
Coming back. Euphoria's coming back to postpone production just because of COVID. So
now, is she coming back in it, or are they changing the cast?
She'll be back. Okay. I think Kelvin Harrison Jr. was supposed to be a part of the cast, but I think he has scheduling conflicts, so he's no longer going to be on season 2.
Oh, you know, voters love Kelvin Harrison Jr.
Oh yeah. So
oh man, they like him.
Yeah. So yeah, to your point, there was a lot of shows that were canceled, like For Life, which didn't receive any nominations for season 2. All Rise, which was Best Drama nominee last year, did receive a nod for Simone Missick, but that was the only nomination it received. I believe Dad Stop Embarrassing Us, which just premiered 2 months ago,
and now canceled.
Yep. So David Alan Grier's its only sole nomination. I don't think there was any other big. I mean, Mixed-ish was not nominated, canceled as well.
Wow.
We didn't have a nomination for that show. Yeah. So.
Wow. So hey, man. I mean, like I said, I think it's interesting. We talked earlier about Kenya Barris, and you know, he was going to do this whole Ish franchise. You know, Oldish. I think Oldish now has been put on the back burner. You know, Black AF, I'm not sure exactly what's happening with it, but you know, to come out the box, man, in 5 years with 48 nominations for one show and then have multiple shows that have other nominations. I'm sure if we did the math on Kenya Barris with Grownish and also Mixedish, he's got to be close. He's over 50, so I'm not sure if he's over 55, but he's over 50 right now.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, so then that leads us to the actual awards. So the 5th annual Black Reel Awards will be announced on Sunday, August 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Now, let's also let people know that we're still in the early planning stages, but we're planning a pre-show that's going to happen at 7 p.m. on August the 15th. And then we're working on an announcement for a post-show kind of a celebration that I'm not going to divulge that one yet, but we are talking, hopefully, Cordell, here's my best guess, 7, 8, we're talking, wow, maybe as much as 5 hours of programming that night. That's going to be pretty nice. Yeah. So you want to get ready for the 5th annual Black Reel Awards presentation. And the other thing we should work on is that there was so much interest from people who were trying to handicap it, because I saw one category and somebody's like, oh yeah, a certain person's going to win that one easy. So we need to arrange a way to get ballots into people's hands so that people can kind of forecast a little earlier. So we'll look at getting that out, having a ballot that people can kind of weigh in and see, like, and maybe we do it like the major categories to let people pick among the top 12 to see if anybody can get a dirty dozen, or if somebody can get 10 out of 12. Because if you ask me, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. But it would be interesting to see if people could predict the 5th annual Black Reel Award. So I think that's something we should work on as well. So any closing thoughts, Cordell, on the nomination process? Because now we're about to go down that road and get ready to prepare for the actual celebration in August. The process this year was very truncated. It felt like we were all on top of each other because of the pandemic. We had the Black Reel Award nominations in February, the actual Black Reel Award show in April, and then we turned around 2 months later with the television nominations. I'm like, man, we need a break.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't ever have to deal with another pandemic to throw a wrench into our schedule. But yeah, overall, like I said earlier, pleasantly surprised with the list of nominees. We just didn't know what we were going to expect coming into, this 5th year of our awards. But big shout out to our voting academy for, nominating a great crop of nominees. And kudos to all of the nominees for their hard work. What I love about working on the Black Reel Awards is that we get an opportunity to shine a light on shows and performers and creators behind the screen that oftentimes don't get their flowers. So this is a great time just to see those individuals recognized for their hard work and dedication.
Man, Lovecraft Country, 10 nominations, leads the field. Blackish coming in and right behind it with 9. And then there's a bevy of shows that come in with 7 each. Snowfall, I May Destroy You, and Small Axe. So those are your front runners going into the 5th annual Black Reel Awards for TV. I have a sneaky suspicion, and I'm not saying anything because I don't have a vote. I like Lovecraft Country a lot. I am anxious to see, because the thing that's interesting about these nominations, you and I have done this long enough. When we've had years with Black Panther, when it got 17 one year, we've had Tyler Perry years ago for Colored Girls had 14, and we've seen all these multiple nominations. What is always discredits a lot of these nominees is that they'll have multiple people nominated in the same categories. For Lovecraft Country, they have 10 nominations, and out of those nominations, there's one category that they double up, and I think that's Outstanding Supporting Actress Drama, where it's both Wunmi Musaku and Anjanae Ellis are both nominated in that category. Am I correct?
Yep.
But in every other category, it's a Lovecraft Country nominee against the field. And you got Jonathan Majors, you got Journey Smollett, you got, as I said, Michael Kay, you've got Courtney B. Vance. I'm very interested, and then also in the writing and directing categories. And you and I are gonna need to talk offline about, when we go to the networks and they submit like a particular show. I got a message yesterday from a director who directed episodes of a series that was nominated this year, but they didn't submit her series, and she was not happy. So we've got to figure out exactly what that looks like as we move forward, because we want to honor the request of networks, right? If you're sending us particular episodes, but at the same time, what do we say about the other people if you've given us a limited series and they have like 7 to 8 episodes, and you got 5 or 6 different directors, and you've only submitted 2 shows with 2 directors? What about these other ones? I mean, these are legitimate questions, because people are feeling like this email, and I need to share it with you. This person felt some kind of way. about they didn't support me. They didn't send you my show. I was like, I'm not in it, man. So these are very interesting conversations to have, Cordell, because there was a time when we felt like we didn't have enough quality, and now you've got kind of you have a plethora, you have an overflowing of creatives that are like, hey man, what about my show? Why didn't I? I'm like, hey, we didn't get that show submitted. They sent us these, they didn't send us those. So yeah, so I feel really good about it. And like I said, these are conversations that I love to have. Sunday, August 15th, the 5th annual Black Reel Awards for TV starts promptly 8 o'clock. The pre-show starts at 7 o'clock. We will announce where it's going to broadcast. We'll have all that information coming up because I've gotten people who are in other countries. Can I watch it in Spain? Yes, you can. Now, you just need to be up because I don't know what the time difference is, but you can watch it if you're up. Or if it's early in the day, you can watch it. So, Cordell, I'll let you take us home, man.
All right. Well, I mean, there's nothing else left to say, but tune in on August 15th, when we announce our winners for the 5th annual Black Reel Awards. So there we go.
All right. And then we'll have some forecast shows leading up because we need to break down these different categories, but looking forward to it, man. On behalf of Nominating Chairperson Cordell Martin, I am Tim Gordon, founder, CEO, blah, blah, blah. You know who we are. We will see you guys on the other side. You guys enjoy, and make sure if you need any additional information, you could get us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Black Reel Awards. And you can go to blackreelawards.com to read the press release and to watch our nomination videos. You guys take care, enjoy Juneteenth, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.